through surgery here in a little bit. Lord willing, he'll come out at the end of the week and be almost as good as new. So that's our prayer. It's good to be together as we listen into the letter that Paul wrote to the church in Rome. So we're reading someone else's mail, but it's remarkable how what we read that was written to Christians almost 2,000 years ago is just as fresh as if he'd written it this morning. So we're picking up here in chapter 6, verses 14 and 15, and he says, "For sin shall not be master over you, for you are not under law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we're not under law, but under grace? May it never be. Of course not." And as he's saying that, we are under grace, but not in order to sin. He says, sin shall not be master over you. Kind of reminds me of what God said to Cain when he was so angry with his brother Abel. He says, Cain, what is your problem? If you do what's right, everything will be fine. But if you continue in this rebellious, self-centered attitude, you're going to be in serious trouble. He said, sin is crouching at the door and its desire is for you, but you must master it. Don't let sin be the master over you. You can master it. And so the challenge is for us to recognize that the deceiver, the evil one, the one that comes to kill, steal, and destroy, has a scheme for us as individuals, for the church, for the culture. And by grace, we have been rescued from that authority, and sin no longer is to rule in our lives. We have been set free. We've been set free not to sin. This grace is not a license to sin, but it is a freedom to be holy. With the grace of God, we have the power and the identity of Christ that is ours. And so even as the first church in Rome had an encouragement, a word of strength and direction from the Apostle Paul, so we today can hear that same thing when he says, sin shall not be your master. You have been redeemed from that slavery. You've been rescued. You've been transferred from that domain into the kingdom of Christ. So the ruler of the domain of darkness has no authority over your life. He'll still try to deceive. He'll still fire those flaming darts and missiles at your heart and your mind. But your shield of faith is a powerful gift by God's grace to quench all the flaming missiles of the evil one. He does not have authority in your life. Sin does not rule in your life. Therefore, listen again to what he said here. We are not under law, but we are under grace. That does not give us a license to sin, but it does give us the freedom to live holy, godly lives. Jesus has called us to be like him. God said, you be holy because I am holy. Well, I can't do that without his power. You cannot do that without his power. But with his power, we can. And he has given us his grace because he loves us. So be reminded again today. I like this big heart right behind me. We're celebrating Valentine's Day this week, the day after tomorrow. And sweethearts and friends and anybody that has affection for somebody else, we really enjoy that. The love of God is including that affection, but it's much, much more. So be reminded today that God loves you, and we love you.